we're going to continue with working on our dynamic blocks. This is what we worked on last time, and we're just going to keep going with it. And now I mentioned when we build with this, we're going to add in some custom text, even though it says similar. It could be typical, it could be whatever. We've just got it to where we can change it right here in the properties box. So the addition that we're going to do is we're going to add a rotation, but you see how that text, it always stays horizontal the whole time. The whole time you move it. I'll zoom in so you can see it a little better. So that's what we're going to add to this. And then we're also going to add, if you want to make this a section cut, then we can add this onto it as well. Like that one right there. And then we'll make it rotate. All of it rotate. So we'll build that, and then we'll also look at it when it comes to other blocks. So we could do the exact same thing with this one. So we can rotate this, and I think I showed you this in the last video, but then we can also add a length parameter to it so that it allows it to rotate but not get in the way. So we'll work on both of those in this video. We're just going to keep with this one, and we're also going to just go ahead and use that so that we don't have to do extra work. So block editor, we're going to erase that right there. All right, so this is what we're working with right now. We'll go ahead and move this and attach it. Let's have Snap-on. It's freezing up on me. All right. There we go. Okay, so we'll just put that in there, and then we'll work on that in a second. But the first thing we want to do is we want to put in some custom text. So for this, we're just going to say custom text 02, because I think I already had one. So custom text, and then what it's going to say would be similar. Now, what I like to do when we're placing this, just because I want to see where it's going to be placed, even though this is going to be custom text 02, I'm just going to make it similar for right now, and then I'm going to place it where I want it. So if this is the spot that I want it, something like that right there, just kind of get a little bit closer. If that's where I want to keep it, then we'll change it afterward to say custom text 02. So we're going to come over here to parameters, and we're going to do point, and then I'm going to get the insertion point of that text, which I had it at the center right there. So I'm going to click there, and then just put that there. When you click on this position, it has to be chained to this other action. So we're going to go chain actions, yes. And then we're going to go 0 for that right there. So then we're going to go actions, move, select this one, and then these two right here for that. So we've got that ready to go. Now that's not connected to this yet. So we want to connect this to the rotation circle that we did in the last episode. So we're going to right click on that, go there and say modify. Now it's telling us to select an object. We don't want to select the text. If we select the text, then the text is going to rotate and not stay horizontal. But we do want to select just that position right there. All right, so we've got that selected there. We haven't done anything with this flag yet. So this flag, when we go to test it, it's going to just stay still. It's not going to work like it needs to just yet. All right. But there you go. So we have this set on increments of 45. That's why it's going to 45s. But the text stays horizontal, just like we showed it. All right. So now that worked well. So we haven't created any visibilities on this one yet. But first, before we do that, we're going to just go ahead and get this thing working. So let's go back to parameters. Let's go to linear. Let's click from here to there. And then we're going to select it and just say 1. I did it backwards. I did it the wrong way. So this is good. Linear, start from this side and go this way, because when we change it to one grip, we want that arrow to be on this side over here. All right, then we go to stretch. We select that parameter. It says starting point, and that's where that little guy comes in. And then we're just going to stretch to highlight that. And then we're going to highlight, well, I did a horrible job of that, but we're going to highlight all that right there and hit enter. All right, let's go ahead and test that to make sure. It's still not going to rotate with it, but it should allow us to stretch that flag. And it does. So that works great. But like I said, still not rotating with it. So to rotate, we need to go back and we need to add that in. So still, we go back to rotation, we right click, and then we go to modify selection set. And now we're just going to select all that and add it in. So let's go test it and make sure. Test it, and now the flag rotates and the text stays horizontal. So close it, save it, and this is it right here. Before we do anything, let's just go ahead and do ATT sync. Make sure that it's got it up to date. Didn't rotate it, and the text stays horizontal, just like that. And then, like I showed you on this one, if you wanted to, you could add the visibility flag and do all that, but we're really just focusing on this one on the horizontal. Okay, so let's do it another time. This, I haven't even created a block with this one yet. So let me see what I labeled this one as. Sim elect outlet. So we'll make a new block, and we'll say sim elect outlet 2. Genius. All right, and then that's going to be our point, and we're going to select that and go from there. All right, so I had already set this up as an attribute, so we'll leave that there. So we want to rotate this. We want it to be able to rotate, but once again, we want this to stay up here. So we could go ahead and change this to 220 just so that we could see where it's at. And that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go point. We're going to go INS, grab that, and then we're going to chain it. So we're going to click on that and go yes, and then 0 for that. So the actions with that is we want it to move. We select the parameter, and then we select those two things right there. All right, so that's good to go. Now we're going to come in and we're going to add the rotation to that. Now, before we add the rotation, if we want to, we could go ahead and do the length, just so that when we do the rotation, we grab it all and we don't have to edit anything. So to do the length, we would do a linear distance from there, grab it, change it to 1, just like we did last time. And then when we do an action, we're once again going to do stretch. We're going to select the distance. Now it's going to ask for our point, so we're going to click that arrow again. And then when we stretch it, now we're just going to stretch it just to select the text only. And then the tool that we want, or the object we want, is that right there. Now, honestly, I can't remember if we need to select the position or not. So we're going to select the position, and we're just going to see if that works. So let's go test. So with this, all right, and then that allows us to move our text up and down, just like we wanted. All right, so we can't rotate it just yet. So let's get out of here. Let's go to rotate. All right, so parameters, rotation. Click that, and we could click it right on there. And then I always like to move this little dot here. Let's move it to the top of that, just like that. Okay, so we've got it going full 360. So we'll go to actions, rotate. We'll click on that. Now it wants us to select the object. So now it's the same thing. we're going to select everything except for that text. So we need to get the position, we need to get the distance, we need to get all of the block, and then we also need to get that right there. Okay, so let's see if we did it correctly. So when we come here, we rotate it, and then the text stays horizontal, and the object rotates, and we should be able to still stretch this out just like that. So wherever we go, we can just move that out, and it works just like that. So save, and then ATT sync. Yes, click it. Rotation works good, and then we can stretch it out. All right. I think we covered everything. Good. Okay. Hope that helps.